Now before we get started, I highly recommend you watch the first 2 episodes of WandaVision yourselves in case you haven't yet, and then come back to this video, because I will get into spoiler territory for the series so far throughout this review.
To kick some tail.
And with that spoiler warning out of the way, let's talk about these first 2 episodes. This is technically the first MCU content to be released since Avengers Endgame, following the obvious delays for the next phase of the MCU with Black Widow, and it's safe to say that this series is quite different to what we've been used to so far from the MCU. Taking place in what looks like the 50s in the US, WandaVision actually works like a mid-century sitcom, with both Wanda and Vision living in this typical neighborhood, having, well, typical neighborhood problems, and that's kind of it, at least so far. The series actually reminds me of I Dream of Jeannie, the sitcom of the 60s, with the main difference that this time both members of the couple have magical powers instead of just one. The first episode is about them having this celebration of something that neither of them can remember for some reason, with Wanda preparing a romantic occasion for the two of them, while Vision brings over his cliche grumpy boss and his wife over for dinner. Now, said dinner is extremely awkward, as you can expect, with both Vision and especially Wanda having to hide their powers from their guests. Around the end of the episode, we get this even more uncomfortable moment with the boss choking on his food and this close-ups of his wife saying stop it, over and over. No one is helping him, with both Wanda looking very worried for seemed like a freaking minute, until Vision finally uses his powers to save the poor grumpy bastard. The soundtrack suddenly gets eerie and uncomfortable during this moment, which hints to me that Wanda is actually dreaming throughout this series. The comparison with I Dream of Jeannie becomes even more literal when episode 2 starts off with a very similar little animated intro. Now Wanda and Vision have to prepare this magic show to keep a school going or something, but Vision eats gum just before, which makes him drunk?
No, abracadabra!
For some reason, although that made this scene probably the best of the series so far. A little before that, we get Wanda talking to this annoying, bossy neighbor that asks her, "Who are you?" while the radio starts literally talking to Wanda, asking who is doing this to her, while she gives this look of concern like she knows what's going on but doesn't want people to know. We even get a couple of Easter eggs with some 50s ad-selling products. One is produced by Howard Stark, and the other is a watch with the Hydra symbol on, so something is definitely going on. And now at the end, we get this happy ending with Wanda suddenly being pregnant, and I guess this kid is going to be really powerful indeed. But they hear this weird noise outside the house, and when they go out to investigate, they find a beekeeper crawling outside a sewer? I don't know, it's really weird. We get a glimpse of his face, but I don't really recognize the dude. Who knows, maybe he's a really important character I should know about. But the point is that Wanda simply says no, and time goes back, and now she's back at the house, happy about being pregnant again, with the show being in color from now on, apparently. Now this just seems to me that Wanda is in some kind of dream or state of trance, and not only that, but she has certain control over the dream. Is whoever watching them on TV in the future the one who has her sleeping somewhere? I don't know. The credit says that this is of course based on Marvel Comics, but I'm not going to do my research and spoil the surprise for me. Now this show is leading up to something, of course. But as a sitcom, at least so far, it's not even that clever, or funny, to be honest. We're just watching it because we know something is going on, but I think that the first 2 episodes could have been perhaps shortened into just one, or they could have just simply dropped the first storyline, because I highly doubt that the boss and his wife are particularly important, knowing that this is a bloody dream. Maybe by doing that, the end of the second episode could have hooked us a little more, rather than make us go,
"What the hell is going on?"
But I'm not gonna get too much into speculation, but rather wait for the next episodes to come out week by week, because again, I'd rather have this be a surprise for me. Stay tuned for the review of episode 3 next week, of course. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're a nerd like me, and leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter, as I'm also trying to build an audience through there. And I hope to see you guys around here very often. This is me, signing off.